Thank you. Yes, pleased to be joined by Stanley Cup champion and captain of the St. Louis Blues, Brayden Schenn, who is approaching 1,000 career games. You'll be the second member of your family to do it. I know you don't like to talk about it, but this is a big show with an audience of hundreds, so you're going to have to when we get to it. But first, Louie, tonight's game.
Yeah, a tough one tonight for you guys, but I think you have to like the way you guys came in the third period, really tried to make a game of it, made it a one-goal game. First loss in regulation with Jim Montgomery as the head coach. What was your take tonight on that game?
Yeah, we pushed hard in the third. Obviously, we haven't. There's no quitting us, and we've been able to come back in a couple games. But yeah, I just thought they capitalized on their chances tonight, and they're a little bit better in those areas, and obviously when they have high-skilled players like they do. Yeah. Time and space is crucial, and can't give them chances. Else is in the back of the net, and that's kind of what happened tonight.
So, Brayden, there's been a noticeable change for the better in the Blues play since Jim Montgomery took over, and maybe it goes to what he believes the Blues' identity should be.
Blues fans are incredible, but they're a blue-collar town, and they want to see a blue-collar team. And that's the most important thing that we got to establish, is being a blue-collar team that the city and fans are proud of. Whether it goes back to, players through Kelly Chase, you go through Al McInnes, you go all through the players, Bernie Federico. There's so many that have stayed in St. Louis. They're part of the fiber of the culture. And that's what it means to be a Blue.
Is that the message you've received in your 8 years with the Blues?
Definitely. The Alumni Association in St. Louis, I think it is the biggest in the NHL. You see the guys around. They care about the team. They care about the Blue Note. They care about the organization. And it's our job to, carry that on and play hard. It is a blue-collar town. They want to see guys go out there and work hard and give it their best. And it's funny, every time you show up to the rink, it's just fans in jerseys, and they just want to cheer for you. We don't get booed very often, if at all, and a great fan base, sneaky little hockey town, and we love it.
One of the players that Jim Montgomery mentioned as the alumni was Kelly Chase, Louie.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody bleeds the colors of the St. Louis Blues more than Kelly Chase. He epitomizes what it is to be a Blue, and battling cancer right now in a real tough battle. A good friend of myself and a lot of people. You're doing something special this year to honor him post-game for your star of the game.
Yeah, Chase was taking care of me forever, even when I wasn't a St. Louis Blue, just kind of the Saskatchewan connection. And he was the first guy to reach out pretty much when I got to St. Louis, and he's been unbelievable for me, so loyal and, so well-liked in our dressing room. I guys have a ton of respect for him. So, obviously it's a good thing to have hoot and holler after big wins with, helmets or whatever teams have. And we've had Bobby Plager's gloves in the past, like we were talking about alumni, and last year we had Big Walt Keith Kachuk's helmet. And I was telling you guys, we were trying to wait for something to come, natural or organic. And it kind of took a little bit. And then I was just driving the rink one day, and I thought, Chase would be the perfect guy, just kind of what he's been through. Unfortunately, he kind of struck me with the news for the second time when I kind of asked him. So that wasn't, the second go-around of his battle here. He kind of caught me off guard, and it was kind of a tough day hearing that. But he's a warrior, he's a battler, and like I said, tons of respect in the locker room, and he'll battle his way through it.
So you had the idea to present the player of the game for the Blues with Kelly's shoulder pads, and the first time you did it was a couple of weeks ago following a 5-2 win over the Rangers.
One more thing, Monty. Yeah. We said it the other day, and you know him well, and we haven't handed him out till the first day. These are Kelly Chase's shoulders, so while he's in the battle of his life, we're going to battle for him, and tonight goes to the first one of two big talks, two first of the year. Give him the Boldy.
So Zach Bolduc, with his first 2 goals of the season, was the recipient of Chase's shoulder pads. He had no chance of getting them on, even if he didn't have his own shoulder pads on.
There's not a whole lot to him, is there? Those are old tough guy shoulder pads right there. Yeah. They've seen some battles in their day.
Do you know the story of those shoulder pads?
He kind of mentioned it on the story, on the phone a little bit to me, but if you probably know a little bit better.
Well, Jeremy Rutherford of The Athletic did a wonderful story about Kelly this week, and he included the story of the shoulder pads. pads. I'd like to take credit for the information, but it comes from Jeremy. But when he was 14, Porcupine Plains, Saskatchewan, his hometown, he'd saved up enough money to go to Cameron Sporting Goods and buy those shoulder pads. And he wore them through his NHL career in, I think, 355 fights. It was a bit of a search to find the shoulder pads, though, right? They came, I think Brett Godin, the former Blues equipment manager, had them.
Yeah, it was. They actually came a week or two late, kind of after we asked, but we found them. Guys love them. It's, like I said, it's a little bit different than the helmet, and they're so old school, so authentic, and it's just a cool piece of a little bit of hockey history.
So just so we have the timeline right, Kelly was first diagnosed with leukemia in November of 23. He underwent a stringent regimen of chemo and got a clean bill of health. Cancer came back last month, and now he's awaiting a bone marrow transplant, but the news is good because his brother is a 100% match, and it would be unwise to bet against Kelly in this battle against cancer. Could there be a more fitting post-game award than this?
Yeah, that's just, like I said, you battle on the ice, you battle for one another. Obviously, he's battling right now, and I think with, what he's been through, he's just, if you know the story of Chaser, he's got a bike in his hospital room. And
the Peloton,
Peloton and push-ups, and he has the mentality where he's beating it. So, the shoulder pads are just honor him. Like I said, he's just such a good guy, and guys respect him so much in our locker room. And I've had the chance to live in St. Louis for 8 years, and he's taking care of me every single day, every single year. If I can pick up the phone and call Kelly, he always has my back, and always has the guys on our team's back as well.
All right, we had you on this program first, Brayden, in November of 19. It was just months after you had won the Stanley Cup, and we showed a picture then that we want to show again tonight. Luke is on the right here. This is you two wearing Detroit Red Wings sweaters back in Saskatoon. Luke has gone on to play 1,000 career games in the NHL, and you're getting close. But before we get to that, we had Luke on After Hours a couple years ago in Vancouver, and we showed him the picture, and he said, look, you might think that's funny, but there's a point to this picture, right? And that is that back then, it's 7 and 5, we were just kids having fun, and there was no one trying to train us to become elite hockey players. We were just having fun, which is what it should be all about at that age. Agree?
Absolutely. There was, you talk to, retired guys and stuff like that with, how their kids hockey and stuff like that. We were just, we played, outdoor hockey on Hurley Crescent in Saskatoon. I don't know the exact number, but in a gap of about 5 years. I think there was about 10 or 11 of us that got drafted in WHL, and that's just by playing outdoor hockey. We were enjoying playing with one another, playing competitive hockey on the outdoor rink, and hockey's always been fun. It's never been pushed upon by our parents. It was always me and Luke kind of making each other better, and they were just there to support us along the way.
So nonetheless, the NHL did come calling for both of you. Luke as a first round pick, fifth overall I think in 08. You were 5th overall the next year. Luke played his 1,000th game in the NHL with Nashville in October, and he beat the odds to do it. How good did you feel for him?
Oh, just amazing, because I was one of his phone calls, or quite a few phone calls, when he was going back between San Diego and Anaheim. Dallas Eakins was really good to him, give him some off days and stuff like that, but he was driving back and forth a couple hours, and there's a lot of uncertain times at 28 I think maybe it was, where he was kind of told to hang it up by a coach, and he took the alternative. He battled his way through. Adam Oates, obviously, the story's been out there where it's helped him tremendously, and just have to reinvent your game, and super proud. He's a guy that has always pushed me, and so much to. Just he was always the guy that I got to see things firsthand, whether it was the draft or World Juniors or playing in the NHL. It's little things like that kind of I see it firsthand that kind of made me want it more.
And the 1,000th game celebration, Louie.
I got to cover that game. We were in Nashville October 17th when he played that game. He gave us a ton of time that day, too, and he was just all smiles the whole interview. Congratulations to him. But you have the possibility of doing something that's never been done before, playing your 1,000th game this year, 2 brothers in the same year playing their 1,000th game. I know you have to have thought about it a little bit. I know Oake brought it up earlier, but that would be so special to join him in the 1,000 Games Club, which should happen this year. I don't want to jinx anything, but obviously should happen later on this year.
Yeah. That's one of the things you don't really want to talk about, but it's, I just always say we've always been so lucky, and just to live with the dream of, being an NHL player with your brother along for the ride. We've got to play in Philadelphia together. It's a special league. You don't take it for granted, and you just take it a day at a time, and there's definitely some ups and downs, and it's not easy, and you just have to keep on, grinding, and you just have a good support staff around you, in which we do, and we're very fortunate and lucky.
There are a number of Stanley Cups on that list, so when you get there, you and Luke will have 3 between you. When you brought the cup to Saskatoon in 2019, Luke would not touch it. He drank out of it with a straw.
I think that's incredible. Smart. Hey?
And then he went to Tampa and he won 2 Stanley Cups. So we have this question from someone, it's anonymous, but does it ever keep you up at night that you don't have the most cup rings in the Schenn family?
Well, I got to go chase them. You know what? If I will say, obviously there's probably a little sense of jealousy with whether brother rivalry and stuff like that with me winning first. But when we're in Boston or kind of my Stanley Cup party, he was the happiest guy there for me. So, it means a lot. And he's just an incredible person, and happy that he's got 2, and now it's my job to chase him, and that's what it's all about.
That question, by the way, was from Luke.
Little dig.
That's great.
By our count, the 2 of you have gone head-to-head in the NHL 17 times, and you lead the series 12-5. Louie.
Yeah, how does it feel to go up against the guy that leads all defensemen in hits, active defensemen in hits? I mean, he's got to be reminding you of when you guys were youngsters. He had to be hard on his younger brother.
Always body checking each other into the snowbank and all that type of stuff. But funny story, like we were in Vancouver and I was with St. Louis. He was with the Canucks, and we were kind of battle along the boards, and we kind of, we play each other hard, but at the same time, it's a little brotherly love and stuff like that. And there was a scrum on the side of on the boards, and he kind of just gave me a little cross check, trying to get me in the pants, and he got me in the rib, and broke my rib.
Oh.
And he was looking for me after the game, and he goes to my trainer, is Brayden around? He's like, he's in your X-ray room actually. So he broke my rib, and it felt so bad, but. I don't want to say I'm going to get him back, but he's kind of big to hit, but I'll try my best.
We've got a picture of the 2 of you together post-game. I think from that game, you don't look like you had broken ribs.
Yeah.
You're hiding it well. Hockey players are tough, right?
Yeah. No, it was one of those stories where he just got me perfect flush, and he probably texted me 100 times after apologizing, so.
Last year, the start of your 7th season with the Blues, you were named captain, so you become the latest in a long line of great leaders with the Blues: Plager, Sutter, Federico, Hull, Gretzky. What's it mean to you to be on that list?
Yeah, it's just it's like I said, it's just an incredible organization. There's been so many players that have passed through it, and I've been fortunate, lucky enough to learn from great leaders. Soon to be GM Alex Steen has been incredible for me ever since I've walked into that city. Learned from Petro and Ryan O'Reilly, just his work ethic and kind of just how he handles people. There's always been a ton of good people that walk through the St. Louis Blues locker room, and you're fortunate and lucky to be a part of it. And when you mention those names, those guys are still around. Gretzky still comes to St. Louis. Hall's still there, and you get a chance, you get to know those guys, and you just you feel lucky and just realize how special people they are.
To be a captain of an NHL team, you have to lead in a number of ways, and one is you have to be attached to the community. And you're attached to St. Louis through Schenn's friends. We're going to look at a beautiful piece of video here. It's you interacting with Christian on the Blues bench. Tell us about the initiative that is Schenn's Friends.
Yeah, it's just Schenn's Friends is just, I guess I've always kind of done something in the St. Louis community, and as I took over as captain, you just kind of host people in a game, get them in a box and give them, food and drinks and the whole experience, and then get up in the Jumbotron and a lot of meet and greets after or on the bench. And it's one of those things where you have a chance to change people's days. I've been kind of fortunate and lucky to be put in a position where you can help people along the way and just make them have a good day. And I'll keep on doing it as long as I can.
All that gets us to blood and stem cell donations, of which you are an advocate. Why?
Yeah, it just, I think, Mandy Schwartz was passed with obviously Jaden Schwartz's sister. Mandy, yeah. Yes. And, obviously he's big with stem cell and matches. And I just think with, if you have a chance to help people, save a life, whatever it may be, it's important to help as much as you can.
Last time you were with us in After Hours against 2019, you were single. Well, not exactly single because you and Kelsey have been together since high school. She run married, but you and Kelsey took care of that in July 22 at the Banff Springs Hotel. Kelsey is a practicing chiropractor. Has she ever done any chiropractic on you?
Yeah. If I'm banged up the odd time, I'll get a couple of acupuncture needles or something like that in the shoulders or neck or whatever. So we got 2 kids at home now, so kids kind of take over. They're 3 or almost 3. 2.5, 3, and 16 months. So Huxley and Braxton, and love every minute at home with them.
Awesome. Yeah, we got a picture of them here. You haven't wasted any time then starting a family. How much are you looking forward to Christmas with these 2 beauties?
Yeah, they love. I mean, Huxley's obviously a little bit closer to 3, and he loves hockey. He loves Joe Holfer. He loves Jake Neighbors because they come over for dinner all the time and kind of have that connection and playing mini sticks and all that type of stuff. And Braxton just follows it around. So Christmas is going to be special. Mom, Dad are coming. Sisters Maddie and Macy, Lane Peterson, who was with the Oilers organization, is going to be coming as well. And then the game right after Christmas, we play Nashville. So it's one of those things where we got lucky with scheduling.
Lefty like the old man.
Yeah, the video of this is Huxley got on skates here?
Yep. He's on skates, and it started in Kelowna in the summertime. I just bring him out with when the Zamboni came out, kind of towards the end, and he loves it. And he goes out, and like I said, with Hofer and Neighbors and all my teammates, like stuff. Sometimes he walks around the room like he owns it, but I guess that happens when they're 3 years old.
We got a question here from Burgundy Burnsy. If a courier's truck broke down in his driveway in Kelowna, what kind of team would he get together to help push the truck out? This is from a very appreciative courier whose truck did in fact break down in your driveway a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I was talking to you this morning. It wasn't one of those small ones too. It seemed to be the double one, and we had to push it out of the driveway. So Kelowna's a special place too. There's so many retired hockey guys there that call the place home now, and that was a funny story.
As a world-class athlete, you have to eat and train properly, and you do, although we have it on reliable authority, that you are a fan of desserts to the extent that you will order a platter of desserts at team dinners so that your teammates can share the guilt. True or false?
Very true. I think that's called the Desi platter, and that's probably Luke takes credit for that. Luke, every platter or every dinner he goes to, is all about the Desi platter.
Perfect.
Taste them all.
Yeah. Good to have you on the show again. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Brayden Schenn, captain of the St. Louis Blues, in pursuit of a second Stanley Cup, so as to join his older brother Luke with 2. He was our guest on After Hours. Back to tidy up at Rogers Place in a moment.